Hello and welcome to the Anti-Diet Meals with Farah Kariamburi. I'm your host, Deepak practitioner, keynote speaker, and the creator of the 30-day Anti-Diet Challenge, the professional women's and no BS way of losing weight. Before I say even anything, the next challenge starts Monday, the final challenge of the year. So if you are looking to kind of lose that lockdown weight, lose up to 10 pounds, some people have gone on to lose a lot more than that, then here's your opportunity to come and join me next Monday, and all for the price of a less than foot takeaway for four people. £47 is for the challenge. Nothing much to lose, but everything to gain. Well, the weight to lose, obviously. Hello, and welcome to today's show, second day of half term. How are you getting on, guys? Are you still surviving, or have you had to shout a lot? I definitely have. I'm telling my son to stop playing gaming and come down and change the scenery. So I have shouted a bit. Okay, so we are making today, I'm going to show you how to make homemade pasta sauce. Well, pasta sauce, or it could be bolognese sauce, or it could be sauce that you use in meatballs, which is what I'm making today. Oh, these shallots are really strong. Getting in my eyes. My mum used to tell me if you are got really strong onions, put water in your eyes and just keep it in your mouth. Water in your eyes, water in your mouth, and then chop your onions, and that sometimes works, but I'm just gonna try and see if it can go away. Okay, so I'm just chopping shallots, half for our meatballs and then half for our sauce that I'm making. So in here I have got a whole can of tomatoes, so they're plum tomatoes, just plain plum tomatoes so far. And in here I have 500 grams of turkey mince. Again, you can use a vegan mince if you wish to, or beef mince if you wish to. I'm just going to add half the onions, try and get it as fine as possible. And then half of them I'm going to use for my sauce as well, because the sauce with onions is quite nice. And then I'm going to put some garlic in this. I would say probably 1 to 2 cloves, depending on how you like your food. So again, making meatballs from scratch, it's a great idea. You know exactly what's going in it. Turkey meatballs, can you get them? I think you can get them. They're not that easily available. However, making your own means you can actually adjust the seasoning, see exactly what's gone in it, and have some fun while doing it. You might enjoy cooking, so for that reason, you can, like I said to you guys, I do use a lot more turkey mince than beef mince, so that's what I'm going to do today. So chopping up the garlic quite fine. You can do it in pestle and mortar, or you can just simply chop. I love how the chefs can actually chop the vegetables really finely, and the vegetables really finely, and that's really nice. Right, this is it. Now I'm going to add some seasoning to this. So what have I got? I'm going to season my salt, season my beef turkey mince. I'm going to put some paprika, salt, and how I want them. I'm going to add some cumin in as well. I love cumin in everything. Turmeric. And I think that's it really. There's no need to put anything else apart from the seasoning. I'm going to pop my hand in there and just crush it. And then my meatballs are ready. So just before you do that, just make sure you actually take off the paper that is on the bottom. There's a paper on the bottom is there. So make sure you take that off. Okay, so we're preparing the meatballs first. We're going to fry them first in the frying pan before making the sauce in the other pan. So making it a little bit more special today. No particular reason. I guess half term, there's not much pick and drop going on to footballs, etc. So I just want to make sure that I kind of take my time and show you guys how to make the meatballs. Again, this could be done in advance if you wanted to. The more the onions and garlic, ginger, have time to be in the meat, the better that meatball will taste. Okay, I'm going to put the pan, heat a little bit of oil in here to everyone going in the pan. I'm going to put the meatballs directly in this, but make sure the pan is nice and hot. Meatballs are going directly in this. And there they are. So you've got a small amount here. And you're just going to pick them up in your hands like this. Roll them in your hands like this. Make sure your fire is nice and low. And there they go. That's your meatballs. Just make sure that they don't splatter in your face. Will you help me? Come on in. You say hello to everybody? So Rehan's joining us, is going to help us. You're going to make some meatballs. You need to wash your hands first. Wash your hands. Okay, so these meatballs, you can make them of whatever size you actually want, to be honest. I'm kind of keeping them fairly a golf ball size, to be honest. You're going to do that. You're going to take this much of the yellow stuff. You add it. Turmeric, just as spices. So you're going to do this. Remember, let me show you. I'm going to give you that. So you're going to do this bit, and I'm going to make the sauce. Here we go. Keep the heat down, guys, so that you don't burn them. We're just nicely making those meatballs, getting your kids involved as you can. Ask them to help you, because if your kids help you, then they're likely to kind of have that food, aren't you? Yeah, that's gently putting on top. Good boy, that was a really good one. Okay, in here, I just showed you there was a whole can of tomatoes. In it, I'm going to put, actually I'm going to cook this off a little bit and then blend it. I'm going to blend it first and then cook it. So I'm going to put a handful of spinach in my homemade tomato sauce. Handful of spinach in there. So if your children are picky and they don't like vegetables, try and disguise them like this. I have revealed that in front of my own child. Well, he knows Mummy's little tricks, don't you? I'm not going to take that. How's the half term going, Henry? How's the half term going? Careful with it. Sometimes because it's cold, that means. Are you enjoying half term? What do you normally do on October half term? What do you normally do? With the same, don't we? What? Okay, in it is going some red pepper, by the way, guys. So this is our homemade tomato sauce. I'll also put a little bit more yellow pepper as well. Just remember, it's all going to blend in, so you won't see the sauce. That's the thing. But you get to have the raw vegetables in it, and that's what we're trying to achieve here. So I've got tomato sauce, spinach, 2 different colour peppers.
Who's on the knife?
This is quite make you this. Can we try the pepper? A little bit more. Really fresh and juicy. Nice, to be honest. Okay, our meatballs are getting large in size. So what we're just doing, we're just going to turn them so they are not just cooking on one side. And now we're not looking to cook this, by the way, fully. We're looking to cook this. Oh wow, that's a really big meatball. So wash your hands.
It's not turn it off.
I'll turn it off for you. So we have a different size meatballs going on in there, which is absolutely fine. They don't have to be perfect, remember, guys. In fact, I just saying the other day, perfection doesn't exist in my dictionary.
It does.
Progress. Doesn't really, does it?
Yeah, but what about if your haircut's wrong? If your haircut's wrong?
Yeah.
If they make it wrong, then you get angry.
Then you're angry.
Yeah.
But you don't have to have a perfect haircut. You can come home and do something better with it, can't you? Like you could put gel in it and make it better. Okay, so the sauce, guys, still going here. A little bit of salt in this for the sauce.
Is there not enough meat?
A little bit of cumin. Yeah, I think it's good. It's a lot. And then you've got a little paprika in there. And sometimes I do is put some basil in it. And that makes it a really nice sauce as well. Okay, now we're going to just blitz all of that. You want to get set? You want to get set?
You always put this on it.
That doesn't it?
Not this, you always put the stuff in it. Every single time.
So just in any ordinary blender. See if it's really secure the white spin. Oh, I think we put the liquid first, so it might not quite work. Hold it from here. How are you looking? Looking happy to it. Do we need to add some water in it maybe to give it a little bit? No, that has to be locked. Add some water in there. That's it. So that water is just going to help to. So these meatballs are almost done now, as in they are solidified, so they won't fall apart.
It's a different colour now. It's smooth now.
Because it's the green. But let's have a little taste. Taste test? That's lovely tomato sauce. Really tangy. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, in this pan, guys, I had half a shallot in there.
Before it?
Yeah, it's going to go in there.
Not in there.
Well, no, I think it could have gone there actually.
Yeah,
but
but you always look at it.
Yeah, no. Wait, one second. We need to spoon that. Yeah. And here, I'm just going to put some shallots to make them nice and a little bit nice and brown, and then we're going to add the sauce that we've made. We're going to cook the sauce through, by the way, because it has got vegetables in it, fresh vegetables in it. So the colour has changed because we put the green in it, but don't worry about the colour. We're going to gently. Look at them, just brighten it again.
You don't need more.
Yeah. So it's just like it's like a orangey colour rather than bright red of the tomatoes. So I wouldn't worry about the colour because the taste is going to be really good. Okay, let's heat it through. Come closer because it's not hot here. Come closer. Yes.
I'll put the rest in there.
Not really. It all needs to be here. But this needs to be nice and hot. Yep, pour it in. There we go. So we've got a lovely sauce going on in here. You should pour some in there. Pop that in there, please, for me. So we'll still serve this with more vegetables, but this is an extra load of vegetables, extra vegetables added to what we're trying to cook. So bring the sauce on heat first, and if it's too watery, that's why I didn't want to add water, then just let it reduce and let it cook. And then we're going to drop one meatball at a time. So here you can add more seasoning if you wanted to. Really tangy because the tomatoes are really tangy, so a little bit of black pepper would go beautiful with it. It's like a soup, it's like tomato soup really. Love it. Okay, I'm ready to put the meatballs in there. Now just a little bit of a word of caution here, don't just drop them in, put one at a time in because they're still quite delicate. So that's what they look like, there's a big one here. I'm just going to put the little meatballs in there for you. One at a time. So if you're again, if you're on a weight loss journey and you're trying to avoid sauces that are made outside, that's one of the ways you can do is this way, making your own. It's not that hard really, it's actually quite simple, and you know exactly what's gone in it. Sometimes a homemade, in fact, almost all the time, the sauces that are bought, can't speak, shop bought sauces will have a lot more ingredients in it, including the sugar. Some of that sugar, by the way, is derived from tomatoes, but some of the time they will use some sunflower oil or oils that are not so great for us. So you are probably then having a few more calories because you are using sauces that make. So I also buy shop made ones. It's not like I don't, I do because they are quite easy to use and cook. But I try and do this more. So here we are. It's nearly ready. I'm going to add some coriander on top, and that'll be really it. I am going to leave it to cook for a bit because we need to make sure that the meatballs are ready from inside as well as outside, especially the really big one. Bless him. There you go. So my coriander is chopped up already. Just going to crunch it a little bit more. When you want to, you just bang it on there and just release some of the leaves and pop it on top. So turkey meatballs cooked in homemade tomato sauce. You could actually bring tomatoes and actually not even have the tin ones and do the tomato sauce in that way too. That's for me going a bit too far, and I prefer them. I quite like the plum tomatoes. They're actually really nice and juicy. The ones I have are these Aldi brand peeled plum tomatoes. So the whole jar has got 7.6 grams of sugar, 4 grams in 1 teaspoon, so about under 4 teaspoons this entire jar. So the whole jar's gone into this. So it's about 1 teaspoon per person, which is natural sugar, which is still sugar, and not too bad at all. So compare that to the ready-made sauces and see what you think of that. Because if that's something you eat every week, then there's a little bit at a time will add up to what you're trying to achieve any goals. Plus, it's made at home. It's two different things really when you make it. So I have just getting to reduce it a little bit. I'm cooking some rice on the side because my kids want some rice today. Now this will be served with broccoli. That's what we're going to have with that. Or it could be served with some salad actually. Try and have peppers in your we just serve this with a small salad because we already have vegetables in there. So just chopping off half a yellow pepper. The smaller the better for my family. They like to eat small, tiny chopped vegetables. And we're going to put some rocket and some spinach. And that will be it. Homemade meatballs with side salad. Have a little check on that. Nearly cooked. Okay, let's serve now, guys. This is watercress and spinach and rocket. I'm just going to chop it up a little bit further. add that to my little yellow salad that we're having. Baby cucumber. Done. I like to have the salad all by myself. Add some olive oil and some lemon juice and salt if you want to. Otherwise, just leave it bland, plain. Okay, let's serve. So a female portion, a tiny amount of rice here for me. I would say about 2 to 3 meatballs for a female portion. And a big, generous handful of salad with crunchy bits here. And here we have it. There's our turkey meatballs with homemade tomato sauce and some rice. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you tomorrow with another brand new dish. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye for now.